are the Eagle Bearer. Wonderful. Magistrate Xanthi has spoken highly of you.
Very kind of her.
So here's the thing. My children have promising futures, but they refuse to learn and study. They think they know better, but they can't recite a poem to save their lives.
Where do I fit into this?
They've heard of the Eagle Bearer and worship the ground you walk on. If you related an epic story to them, I'd bet they retain it and impress their tutors.
It's an odd request, but I've been asked to do stranger things. I'll do it.
My children are waiting inside the Temple of Dionysus Kolonatas for today's epic story. The subject is Perseus, which they should know well, but seem to forget all when questioned.
I know the story well, of course, but my preferred version may not be what your children expect.
Do not fear. If you need a reminder, there are many relics related to Perseus in the hall adjacent to the Temple of Dionysus Kolonatas.
Good to know. Hello, I'm...
The Eagle Bearer. We've heard all about you.
Are you going to tell us a story today? Do we have to listen? We've heard it 100 times.
Yes, that's me. And yes, I'm telling you a story. Gather round and listen, children, while I spin you the yarn of Perseus. The great god of the sea, Poseidon, visited a mortal woman, Sarah, a fisherman's daughter. The god of the sea frolicked with her in the shape of a dolphin, and she knew his love.
Ugh! Is this a kissing story?
Relax, I'm just setting it up. Soon, Sarah gave birth to a child, the half-blood hero Perseus.
I thought Perseus' mother's name was Danae, like my sister.
Yeah, and his father was Zeus.
Well, that's true in some versions. Anyway, at some point, baby Perseus fell off a boat and almost drowned. Perseus and his mother Danae were rescued on the island of Seriphos, and Perseus grew up under the care of a kindly fisherman, Dictys.
Lucky them. Did the gods help?
Maybe. Perseus learned to swim and ride and fight, and how to be good and just, even though his father was only a fisherman.
I can do all those things too.
Good for you.
Except swim.
Or be just.
Hush. Now, Victis' brother was the ruler of the island, but he was not a good man.
He's scum.
The cruel king of Seriphos, Victis' brother, Polydectes, decided he wanted to marry Danae, for she was still beautiful and noble. But Perseus knows his mother does not want this. Victis couldn't stop his brother, so it was up to Perseus to interfere and be annoying.
Christos, that's your job.
I would keep the stinky king from marrying you.
The cruel, stinky king became angry. To get rid of Perseus, Polydectes sent him on an impossible quest. Prove yourself a warrior and fetch me a worthy wedding gift, the king said, by killing a great monster.
I knew it!
Shh, I knew it too.
Perseus figured out what he needed. The golden fleece of the winged ram, said to be guarded by a monster who could turn any to stone. Luckily, Perseus was blessed by the gods, and he was guided by Athena's golden-geared owl to the monster's lair.
Athena's golden owl? That's dumb.
Sounds cute. I want one.
And armed with the vorpal sword from mighty Olethros, he faced the snake-necked, large-headed, shaggy-maned, stony-gazed Katovlepas!
No!
Huh?
Perseus avoided the Katovlepas' killing gaze and snicked the sword, lopping off the creature's head.
Ew!
He grabbed the golden fleece and wrapped the Katovlepas' head in it. Then flew back home astride winged Pegasus to save Andromeda, who was about to be eaten by the Kraken. He used the deadly head to turn the Kraken to stone.
Wait, the what? What's a kraken?
Like a giant squid?
Don't you mean the sea monster Ketos?
Pretty sure Homer said, release the Kraken, not release the Ketos.
You just made that up.
Perseus traveled to Argos with his family, and one day competed in the Great Athletic Games. He hurled the discus, and his throw was so great that it shot into the stands and struck King Acrisius. So doing, Perseus killed his grandfather and fulfilled the prophecy.
Hurrah! You can't escape your fate.
In the end, Perseus and Andromeda settled in Mycenae as king and queen, and had 7 sons and 2 daughters, the Perseidae.
Wow, that was so wrong and so boring.
You are a sticky storyteller. And that story was poop!
I am sorry for your audience, Evil Bearer. Though from what I heard, it did sound like you deviated somewhat from the traditional tale.
Apologies. Come on. Another day is done.
A power I wield indeed. I told you last time I thought I could summon you when needed, and it has happened yet again.
And for what this time?
My friend here needs to be taken to the sanctuary of Elefsis, near the border of Mecharis. He'll finish the trek across the border on his own.
If you have the power to make me come when you want, stop using it.
Oh, No, that's too easy. Anyways, the power doesn't work every time, sadly. You weren't in my bed last night, no matter how many times I thought of you.
Let's get to it. I'm just supposed to take your friend across the border.
Yes.
Nothing else?
Carefully, if you can. Avoid roads, people, be invisible. My friend must be kept safe.
I'll make sure he's safe.
I'd hoped you'd say that.
Every time you ask me to do something secretly, someone dies. What is it this time?
Not everyone was born with your beautiful muscles built for, well, everything. Some of us work better by avoiding fights. This time, that's all I ask.
There are lots of safe passages through these parts. Tell your friend to go alone.
He could, but imagine if something happened and you saved him. Imagine the things I'd do to show my gratitude.
And why do you always turn to me?
You've proven yourself worthy. Plus, I like watching you walk away.
We should be on our way.
He needs to get to the sanctuary of Elefsis. It isn't far, although it may take you longer than usual.
It won't be a problem.
I'm glad we aren't going by sea. Nvidia told me about you. He said you're blessed by the gods.
Move!
It's nice of you to help someone you don't know at all. We should stay on the safest route possible.
Off we go now. Off we go now. Yeah! Ella. Come on.
That's better. I was starting to get sweaty under that hood.
You're a woman.
Nice of you to notice.
Alcibiades said...
Exactly what I told him to. It was safer that way. I owe Alcibiades a lot for his help, and for trusting you with my life as well.
Enough lies. Tell me what's happening.
I said I was a man, so nobody would recognize me. I needed to escape my husband unseen.
And you trusted Alcibiades?
No one escapes my husband. He'd find me. It's been tough. I'm not sure I would have lasted much longer.
I'm glad I could help.
Please give Alcibiades my thanks. I only wish I had more to offer him. And you, for the help. I'll never forget either of you.
LFCs. What great mysteries do you hide from us?